Hi, I'm Ken Tran, and we're going to give you a look into our server room. Welcome to GeekBeat. I want to give you guys a little bit of a look at what's inside of our server room. People are always asking questions. What do we use to make our content? What runs this building? Well, let's take a look. So, thanks to our friends over at Chatsworth, we have these great global frame, 47-inch deep server racks. They're 42U tall, so that means they can hold 42U worth of equipment, and they're 46 inches deep, so they can hold really deep equipment, such as our Storinators here. So in our first rack, we have our KVM system, where we have a little monitor and a switch that allows me to switch between the different servers we have in the rack. So the real interesting thing is our middle rack here, which hosts our servers. So we have a few shelves and things like that. We have plenty of extra hard drives lying around. So on the top here, we have our Synology RS814. This is our backup file server, which we use to store our archives and things like that, things that we don't need to access very quickly often. We have from our friends over at Interlogix, we have our truVision 12-port DVR system for our security cameras. So this thing is always recording our security cameras 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we know if anyone's trying to mess with our building, we know what's going on. Then we have a stack of HP G6 series server blades. These are all 1U blades. These host XenServer to host our virtualized Linux servers of services that run our building, such as our wireless controller, our internal wiki, and a bunch of other things that we use here. So we don't actually have to have individual machines. We can virtualize everything and just put it on this little cluster here. And below that, we have our 45 drives full of 45 6TB drives from our friends over at ProCase 45 Drives. So our Storinator here stores all of our data for the company at several hundred terabytes of redundant ZFS-based storage. And then at the bottom, we have our UPS power. We have an extra little switch here that I just kind of stuck there, but the bottom, this UPS here is a 20 amp UPS that powers the entire rack. But the next real interesting part, though, is our network cabinet itself. So our network cabinet hosts the entire backbone of the company and the entire backbone of the building. So at the top, we have our Time Warner 1 gigabit internet up and down, fiber internet, which they gave us this little fiber transceiver modem thing, which allows us to put into our core Ubiquiti EdgeRouter Pro router. This is an 8-port router, which includes 2 fiber ports, and we can talk more about that in the little link up here. Next, down below, we have a PoE switch that runs our wireless system, and then right below that, we have our Zyxel 48-port with 10 gigabit uplink switch. So we have 2 of these, and these are our core switches. They run the entire network. Everything goes into here, including our WAN and LAN and guest networks, all go into this switch. So we have 2 of these, and they're stacked together, so they act like one big switch with using 2 10 gigabit uplinks that talk to each other. So it just acts like one big switch, which is really handy on the management side. And as you can see, everything is connected to a series of patch panels. We have 4 different patch panels here. One for all the office jacks, a second one for the TV jacks inside the offices. The third one here is for the public jacks, such as in our conference rooms and the other public spaces. And our final one here we have for our security cameras themselves. And all that stuff runs into the different switches. And you can see it's pretty clean. We use these little short 1-foot cables here that make it really easy to keep everything straight and organized. Here we have our PoE switch that we use to power the security cameras in the building. And below that we have our Netgear 8-port 10 gigabit switch, which we use to connect Carter's editing machine to our Storinator, as well as a few other machines that we have in the building. And below that we have a power transfer unit. So when the power goes out for one system, it will automatically switch over to the other one. And to that we have our 2 UPSs connect to it. So if one UPS dies, the power will transfer to the other one and start using the secondary UPS at the same time. So this entire room is also connected to our whole building generator, and we have plenty of backup capability in case we have power outages or other type of mainline interruptions. So I was talking about the patch panels. All that stuff is attached to our main cable bundle, which is going out the back of the case and goes up and around. And this main cable bundle powers the entire building. As you can see, in the video here, it runs all the way down, up and down the hallway, which powers every office in the building. So anyways, that's a look at our server room and the technologies that we use inside our server room. If you have any questions, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at KienTren, KIENTREN, or you can hit me up on the website at geekbeat.tv. Anyways, my name is KienTren, and thanks for watching.